Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I'm here to give you 5 things which we learned from the game against Stoke. It ended 1-1. I felt defensively brilliant. Stoke found it very hard to break us down. Their goal did come from a free kick, which I don't even think should have been a free kick. The referee definitely got fooled by the Stoke player just falling to the ground. Nothing I felt Fanny could have done about that. He was trying to avoid contact in the first place. They scored from that resulting free kick through a deflection of Reece Burke. But we did remain positive. We carried on. We didn't let our heads drop. We kept attacking like we have been all game. And Ali eventually got our equaliser in the 90th minute. I do think it was deserved. We were the better side in my opinion. But ultimately, we didn't really make the most of being in the attacking areas throughout the whole game. So many times we were getting into the right positions, but we lacked quality in the final third. That's what we will be talking about in today's video. But overall, I do feel like a point was a fair result. But that does mean this Saturday against Blackburn is a must-win if we want to stay up in the Championship. So the first thing which we learnt from the game against Stoke was our set pieces were not quite good enough. For me, since Matt Bloomfield has arrived as Luton Town manager, our set pieces have not been good. For some weird reason, they're not as good as what they used to be. Now, under Rob Edwards, our set pieces were very simple, but effective. That's how we scored majority of our goals, was through set pieces. But right now, the quality on the ball is not quite good enough in my opinion. We had 6 corners in the game, but out of those 6 corners, only one of those I felt we created a good chance, and that was in the second half through McGuinness. He had a free header at goal. It just went wide. If he got it on target, I do think it would have gone in due to the pace of the ball. But apart from that, I don't think we even came close to anything else. Free kicks as well, not quite good enough. Now with Alfie potentially being out for this weekend's game against Blackburn, the opportunities to score from free kicks and corners are going to come from Clark and Walsh putting the ball into the box. I expect much better deliveries than we have been seeing over the last couple of weeks. Right now, we don't even look like we could score from a set piece, and you need to be good at your set pieces. That's sometimes your plan B option. Before Matt Bloomfield arrived, we were really good at it. We kind of need to revert back to old ways. And I do find it quite weird because at Wycombe, Matt Bloomfield and Wycombe Wanderers set pieces were quite good. So I thought it would transfer over to Luton, but we haven't really seen that. So hopefully we can start clicking from our set pieces, but in fact start clicking in front of goal overall, because we're still finding it very difficult to rip teams apart. So I've kind of already mentioned it, but my second point for today's video is Alfie Doughty. Now he is in doubt to play for the game against Blackburn on Saturday. He has a hamstring injury. He picked up this knock against Leeds, but he managed to fight through it and managed to start for the game against Stoke, but he only lasted 20 minutes. So he is going to be a big miss, but I don't think he's quite been the same player since returning back from his ankle injury in January. He does look a lot slower. There's been talk about him putting weight on. He definitely doesn't look as fit as he used to. I don't know how much of an impact the injuries have had on him this season. But yeah, he definitely doesn't look the same player. That quality in the final third hasn't been there since he's returned. Apart from that Sheffield Wednesday game when he scored from outside the box, we're lacking that quality from him. But if he's not available to play on Saturday, there is a few decisions which Matt Bloomfield could make. And I personally would play Ali back there as the left wing back. Now, Ali, for me, he's not a left wing back. It's unnatural for him to play in that position. But after doing such a good job against Stoke, I feel like it's very harsh to not start him against Blackburn on Saturday. Whether that's up top, alongside Morris or another striker, or out on the left-hand side. But I do think playing him on the left-hand side with Amari Bell being that left-sided centre-back could be the correct decision, because you can allow Ali the freedom to attack and go forward, and Amari Bell could be the protection just behind him. Amari Bell doesn't need to attack. You can just allow Ali to do that. I'm pretty confident that Ali could take on one or two players just by himself, and he did it on one or two moments against Stoke when he was on the pitch. So that would be my decision, but he could also play Chong as the left wing back. He could also play Amari Bell as the left wing back and maybe bring in Cal Naismith to play as the left-sided centre-back. That could also be another option. But Amari Bell going forward, he isn't the best in my opinion. So I would rather have Ali in that position than anyone else if Alfie cannot play this Saturday. Before we talk about Ali, let's talk about Chong. Chong started for the first time since January. He picked up an injury against QPR, and I felt the game against Stoke, he had a quiet and poor game. He touched the ball twice in the opposition box. He had overall 20 touches throughout those 18 minutes he was on the pitch for. If you compare that to Ali, by the way, who played less minutes than Chong, he had 58 touches off the ball, and you look at the impact he had in the game, he was causing Stoke all sorts of problems, and he had double the amount of touches than Chong did. It's crazy stat. Chong has got to do more. I know Chong's recently had an injury and he's only just come back, but he's got to do more in these attacking areas. Ali and Chong are very similar type of player, and Chong's just not doing it for me. Even in these attacking areas where he's meant to be direct, he's meant to be skillful, he's not doing enough. And people keep saying, oh, we only signed him because of what he did for Birmingham against us. That's rubbish. That's utter rubbish. There's more to it than that. There's a player there with Chong, and I've defended him on more than one occasion this season. I've defended him so many times. I've supported him on so many occasions. But what I can't do is carry on supporting him when he's letting himself down. When you're in these attacking areas and you're taking that extra touch, when you're struggling to beat a man, when you're getting pushed off the ball far too easily, you've got to do more. When you're losing your battles as well, you've got to be doing more. And he's not doing it. Now, that might be me being harsh because he's only recently come back from an injury. But he started ahead of Ali against Stoke. And he put that type of performance in. That for me just doesn't really make any sense. He doesn't deserve to start on Saturday. There should be an instant change. But he might do. In fact, Morris might do, which we'll talk about in a second. But that's not right, because they're not doing it up top. They need to earn their place in the side. They've got to be doing a lot more. And Ali, who started as a sub, came on the pitch and done amazing. That's what we need to see from Chong. Right, I've been hinting it throughout the whole entire video, but let's talk about Ali. And I do love him. What a player he is. What a great signing he's been so far. For me, I've been very vocal on wanting to see him play a lot more in a Luton shirt. Matt Bloomfield's restricted his minutes, but after the performance against Stoke, he surely has to start against Blackburn. I'd be frustrated. I'd be very angry if he does not start against Blackburn on Saturday. The direct style of play, the dribbling ability, the goal in itself was brilliant, how he done his man and hit the ball hard and low. Well, I say hard and low, but he hit the ball with so much power. The keeper had no chance to saving it. The backflip celebration, please don't do that again, because I don't want you getting injured because you've done a backflip. But throughout the whole game, just his positivity, just going forward and just being brave, showing a bit of quality when you need to show a bit of quality in the final third. For me, without him on the pitch, we would have struggled massively. He was the only one for me in the final third that was doing it. And the other players on the pitch need to be looking at him and, try and replicate those types of performances. Honestly, it was brilliant. And not just his attacking display as well. He also was coming back. You've got to think as well, he's not a left wing back. That's not his natural position. His natural position is as a striker, right winger and a left winger. But he was playing as a left wing back. And he was helping out defensively as well, supporting Amari Bell. So fair play for his work rate there. He's a positive character. I love his background coming from non-league. So he understands, that type of mentality, that some games are going to be tough. So you're going to have to, battle through it. That type of non-league mentality. He's got all of that. So I just want to see him more in a Luton shirt. And I'm glad he's off the mark as well. That will give him confidence. And yeah, long may it continue. His impact was fantastic. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in a Luton shirt. My last point, which I wanted to make in today's video, is talking about Carlton Morris. For me, he should not start on Saturday against Blackburn. He's not doing enough on the pitch. Loads of people are seeing this. It's been happening for weeks now. You can't keep going games without having a shot at goal. Our striker has got to be shooting at goal. He's got to be having at least a couple of attempts a game. He's gone 2 games yet again this season without having a shot at goal. It's clear to me the problem, he's one of the problem. Of course, he isn't the whole problem, but he's part of the problem. If he's not getting in the right areas to have shots at goal, then there's a problem there with him. I would like to see a different striker partnership on Saturday. I would like to see Nordas in. He's fresh, he's raw, he's ready to go. Play him. Let's see what Nordas can do. I believe Nordas was signed for next season anyway, but I want to see what Nordas can do this year. He might be the man that could answer our problems. He might fix the goal department at Luton Town Football Club. We're not scoring enough goals. We're not, having these clear-cut opportunities. Morris is meant to be our top goal scorer, and he's just not doing it. So I want to see a change. Yes, he wins so many headers in the air, but I want to see a bit more than that. I want to see him in the box. I want to see him winning a header, attacking a cross. But we're not seeing that. And of course, it's not always down to Morris. It's down to the players also setting him up. And I do think Alfie Doughty, Isaiah Jones also need to be doing a lot more. But our midfield has been quite good for the last couple of weeks now in Walsh, Clark and Asgard. They can pick Morris out. But Morris is either, he's kind of just leaving the box to hold the defender up and link the play up, or he's just nowhere to be seen. That has got to change, because if it doesn't, then I don't see how we are going to score goals. We can't keep relying on scoring lucky own goals and screamers from outside the box. Yes, Ali might be able to help us out a little bit in the remaining games, but he can't do it all on his own. We need other players to contribute. But Morris isn't doing it right now, so yeah, I would like to see a change on Saturday against Blackburn. And that does lead me to the end of this video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Please smash that like button. Comment below what you learnt from the game. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. Don't forget to follow me across all my social media if you haven't done already. And I'll see you guys in the next video.